Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We're ready to start the meeting of November the 14th, 2023. Our first order of business is to approve the previous meetings. Make a motion that we approve previous meeting minutes.
Second.
For a motion and a second, do we have any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Next order of business is the article following that with the changes.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Yeah, so the ADs, the administrative digest changes, we've changed some accounts. People have called us and let us know that, they incorrectly filed their original, note in returns, and they had some adjustments, which is, as you can see, CSI leasing, ADP, and the Cherie at the hotel on Fort Hood Road. And MDG is one that actually, they filed in Douglas County, but they actually Cobb County. So they end up filing in the wrong county. So we make sure that they file properly for the current map in Cobb County and do the judge that we have. Now, I'd like to get a motion to approve these, and if it wants to get next.
President, and motion to approve all personal property administrative changes.
I can make a motion to approve the personal property administrative change. That's true.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the A4, which are the appeals, these are appeal changes. I have appeal changes, Starbucks and kids, education, and meal and struggles as well. These are small adjustments, but they, appeals, and we found that we had slight errors, calculation, which caused them to be a little off. So we made those corrections, and we're gonna send those notes up to the people. And the change was roughly about $3,000. And on page 5, we had a no change for a vote, which is an appeal, which is no change for a vote. So we're sending that to the board of regulation. That's all I have.
I would entertain a motion to approve the personal property appeal changes and those changes.
Make a motion that we approve the personal property, skills adjustments, and note. Second.
The motion and second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
I particularly make a modification for the minutes so we can with the executive session open there for discuss executive session.
But it got motion that we won't make that.
Make a motion, take the session at this time.
Legal issue.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll be back to one.
Thank you.
So if we could amend the agenda to bring unfinished business forward.
Right now, I'm gonna address the unfinished business at this point.
Come on, and you have me.
Too excited to jump ahead, so we didn't waste your time. And I appreciate it. Take care of your business.
You're all set.
Joey, would you like to make a quick presentation of what you did?
Okay, yeah, sure. Hey, Bob.
You good?
We went back and looked at, I know we take our last agreement with our last payment was $795 for it. Based on the uniformity change, some, flood and typo adjustments I made. And I went back and looked and, I got here this. This is what I had to look at it real quick. I like how probably to have the same situation with rock and some stuff and it, other things. Basically, I think around, if you look through there, like one's at 95 millimeters per acre, one's at 8,208,000 per acre, and then one at 9620 per acre. So basically, came up with the 8,500 per acre, and it's not 285,500. So that's what I was going to suggest is more for the final value for the 2022 and 2023.
You any rate with the sale price?
Well, we will in 2024 because they're going to get their 500 for 2024.
And plus it would be exempt,
Right. So
$50,000. Price.
I would entertain a motion to approve this value as amended.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the value as presented and noted.
Second. A motion and second, do we have any further discussion?
Well, I was prepared to discuss these comps that he's using. Because I don't see how they're comparable with this industrial property, they're residential zone, and it's over at the really the ice development, really this is Brookwood, and three of those that are all together, and they're leftover remnants, but they're not included in the homeowners association because he wants to probably develop those. They're flat versus the topography on the subject property. Doesn't have any streams or floodplains or utility power line easements or sewer easements. It's completely different property. And I've got a whole lot of information here that I was going to go over with you all if you had the time and if you wanted to hear all this. But those three comps that he was discussing, Abbey builders, the same owners. I don't think that I'll see how they're comparable at all because they don't have the restrictions of that this property has in an industrial park. It's a leftover remnant, 33 acres. And they never planned on selling it. It's always from the beginning of their site plan drawing up. They had it as unsellable. They never tried marketing it or developing it or anything because of the steepness, the terrain, power lines, the sewer easements, the floodplain, the wetlands, stream coming through there, going down to the Sweetwater Creek. So I don't see how in the world that's at all comparable. For those three, then the tributary one that he came up with is right at the development, just about the industrial development. The tributary parcel is on Riverside. And well, if you got some time, I'd like to go over all these, and then I've got other comps that they missed, and I, see how they are valued at a lot less.
And actually, one other last thing, the $9,000 per acre, that's a 2023 and 20, and it says 24 right here value. But really, if you go to 22, it's 6,000. So that's kind of, needs to be brought to your attention. So that wouldn't, so if you average those out, it's going to be less than the 8,500 right now.
I get that this property will still go to litigation. So since you have that information, I'm going to strongly recommend that then you.
The board does not want to settle.
The board is asking for 8,500 per acre.
So,
Yeah, at this point, that's what we're asking for further recommendation of the first court prior.
well, but that's what I was going to enter in information for you all before you all make your decision. If you can, hold off and listen to all the evidence that I have.
What value are you asking for?
Well, 50,000 is what it's stable, and so all right. So then versus if you use 6,000 an acre times 33 acres, what is that?
Give us a value.
Well, who can do that?
After 6,000, 33,
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
6,000 times 30 is 100.
Okay.
So it's times 38.
So we're talking about such, low values to begin with. I don't see why we have to.
I call for $1 million or $3 million down to 200.
Well, let's do that million and 3 million. And Ford, it was 8 million because they had put a warehouse on there that wasn't even there.
And that's human error. So
And I understand
human
all
error.
But
You want to do that math? 6,000.
you did it. But I mean, that's part of the ball. So
So was 30 acres?
33. 98. So, and when they ended up being approached by Georgia Transmission to put a little substation on there, on part of it, they said, well, we don't want to sell part of it. We want you to take the whole thing because we don't want any of it. And so they got 50,000. And that's going to be, and that's and on the county property record card, it says that was not a valid sale. I don't understand that. But
we validate it, and if it's not typical of the market, it's not valid. 33 acres is not.
well, how do you know what the market is for that type of property with all that many restrictions that's unfelt?
We haven't validated those sales yet for 2024.
I just haven't gotten.
So it's gonna say unvalidated, but we do validate sales. Sale price is not typical of the market. We're gonna say it's not typical of the market.
And just Billy,
Yes,
I'm not an attorney, but we're charged with assessing what the value of the property was on January 1st, or what we knew about it and know about it.
right.
And we have done that.
Yes.
So that's how we came up with the figure that was big up. Even with some retrospection, and stuff like that.
In the past history, going back.
We have to that.
Going back to
And it was at
2019.
4,000, it was at 4,000 per acre.
When it was at 4,000.
Yes, and we're
Right,
not,
how about we go to 4,000
and it's no,
instead of right here and now?
it's not, it's a different year, where,
But
that
the
was-
land did not increase in value, and it didn't do anything except just.
But we gotta be realistic.
That's what I'm saying.
It did.
Our argument
And
is
it's
that
different
it increased.
opinion that it didn't increase in value at all. All land each year fluctuates.
But then
depending
it's
on-
unusable land for that development.
Yeah.
And they never planned on using it. It was always gonna be wasteland, remnant, leftover excess land that they could not use.
Good, Bennett, we really appreciate your input, value your input, and we're glad that you showed up here. We'll take a vote on the motion at this point.
Well, I've got a lot more evidence that.
And you can present it at I see you're gonna further the litigation anyway.
No, I mean, so what is the value you're proposing? So,
$285,000.
285,000.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you for your time, both times.
Appreciate you, sir. Yeah.
Thank y'all. Now y'all know how to do it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Next on the agenda is being agenda director of real property matters.
Morning. I have the correct page on that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just starting on page 6. And page 6 through page 19 are all the admin changes going from 2023 back to 2024. Right? And most of these changes are going to be homestead approval and some deed corrections and a few corrections and some value on some sale prices on some lots. We're going to start on page 6. And the first one we have here is parcel 2515-185. The marriage certificate was provided for this particular homestead approval, and we're gonna go back to 2021 on this one. So we're approving on page 16 also for 2022. On page 17. Yes. Page on that one for 21.
12.
You know. Okay, we're just going back to 22 on her, sorry. Okay. On the next one, that also, she provided her marriage certificate on number 84415. And the next one, we have a private drive that we found. We did not catch them on that, correct, Ian? We gave them the private drive, nominal value of $700. Number 10, parcel 602565. A mistake was made where the son passed away with a similar name as the owner of the property. So we removed the homestead. We all this in. It's not him in some of the areas with similar names. And they don't provide social security numbers. We're not able to really check those. But with similar names, they call. So we reinstated the homestead on that one. On number 12, I'm skipping over some of the approval. It had a couple of years on that one. We never processed their homestead application on parcel 113-3524. So let's hope the page numbers are on this one for 22. On page 16, for Bennett, number 5 on that page. And on page 18, the first one. All right, got it right too. At the bottom of this page, there's KMC Homes. The builder or the owner of these particular parcels called to say that they purchased the properties. They purchased them in 2 lot bulks, 4 lot bulks, and 18 lot bulks, Lynn? Yes. And we called and said that they were not set to this purchase price. You know, Senate Bill 346 says that it was an arm's length transaction. Appraisals verified that it was an arm's length transaction, and there were a total of 36 parcels. 2 of them were allocated to the right price, but 34 of them were not. So we have 34 of those. Starting on the bottom of page 6 is 1. Page 7, we have 7 more. Page 8, we have another 7. Page 9, we have another 7. Page 10, another 7. And page 11, if you go to number 45, we're doing the 34.
Just a quick question. Your teaching homes and PMC homes, what's the difference?
They are the same owners on the property. Lena, do you have any input on why they have different names of owners?
I'm not sure why they set it up that way, but there, as far as the Secretary of State website, it doesn't show they were any kind of relation or affiliated, so I'm not sure why.
There you
But,
concern here, or
no,
we need to investigate more.
No, I think we're okay.
yeah, I did.
Yeah, we had a couple of eyes on this. Okay. Number 47, the veteran was approved, and number 48, parcel 182.239 was a common area that we did not set. I'm gonna tell you now, we have quite a few common areas that are coming out when we're seeing the bills.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we didn't catch our HOA.
Yeah.
And some of those were changed over when they put them into the HOA's name. And also on the top of page 12, there are 2 more. Okay. On number 51, Linda Walker was going back to 2021, basic homestead, and if you look on page Walker. So if you look on page 16, she is probably on there, number 7. Okay. And on page 18, she's number 2. All right. We have John Willis on number 52, parcel 206-25129. He was approved for veterans under 62. He is also on page 16. He is number 8 on page 16. Next, on number 53, parcel 464-18218, she called about not having a tax bill. Why did she get a bill? Often did some research and found out we missed the deed back in 2019 for the tax year 2020. So we went all the way back to tax year 2020 to correct our ownership. So they can now get a tax bill for all the years. And the homestead that was on the property in the prior owner's name is now being removed. So it's going to be a tax bill for this $235,900 value. So on page 17, you'll see miscellaneous number 10. On page 18, number 3. On page 19, the only one for 2020. All right. The last one on page 12 is the builder called and says, hey, you have an improvement on one of my properties where an improvement should not be. So if you look at 55 on this page and 56 on page 13, we have the house on the wrong, it's the model home. We have it on the wrong parcel. So we just switched them back over and it was an even swap on the value. Should be. Okay, good. Thanks, you got the math petitions here, appreciate that. All right, and number 57 is an approval for 65 plus. On page 14, we have a correction on the characteristics on this property. This property, I think we brought it before you before. They applied for an exemption on this vacant parcel. It is a Douglas County Task Force. They were gifted this land in 2022 land. They did apply for the exemption. We did not approve it because there was no exempt qualified use of this property. It was just donated to them. They accepted it, not realizing that they could not get it approved through exemption. And I thought that we had lowered the value on it to be uniform with some of the other parcels around. It's a piece of land near where Mr. Rooker, the Rooker property that we just discussed earlier, we're reducing the value on it to be uniform with the surrounding properties. And so we're choosing it for 2023 and for 2022. They that is good that cost of money. On page 16 for 2022, we went over most of these. There were a few. Number 3, parcel 86254, Paul Holder. We approved him for his homestead. We had missed his application for 2022. In 2023, he filed an appeal. We did approve him, but we also had to go back and approve him for 2022. Number 6 is also, it was not on the digest. We were looking through the 2023 appeal and realized that they were not billed for 2022. Something happened in the transfer coming from WinGap over to IAS and they were not billed. So we're now putting this on the digest at 102,700. Anything else on this page?
So the only digest for 43.
Yes, they filed an appeal for 23. We're still processing. On page 17 at the top, parcel 318-18241, it's Quincy Robinson, Rita, and he was approved for the veterans under 62. And particularly parcel number 11, 637-1363. She filed an appeal for 2023 about her homestead. Her and her husband applied together, she said, and of course they divorced, and she took his name off the parcel. And when his name come off, we took the homestead off. But we couldn't find the original application. She found it. She went back through her paperwork and found it where they both signed the application, they both qualified for the F1 basic. So we are reinstating it for 23 through the appeal, and we're going back to 2021. So we have it on 22 right here, and on page 18, number 4. If we did everything else on this page. This week, I'm finished. Any questions on any of that? I know I got that.
Very, very good.
Alright. Anything?
It needs to the top here, residential administrative changes.
Yes, yeah.
Residential, I would then like to approve the residential administrative changes.
I'd make a motion that we approve the residential administrative changes as noted, 23, 22, 21, and 20. And I disagree.
The motion and second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Morning.
That's how you know.
I'd like to present to the board the residential sales change. Starting on page 20, version 21. Most of these are small changes, so I'll just read the significant changes. The first one, line item number 15, parcel 72-2529. Adjustment made from 816,500 to 674,900, and that's because the parcel is located in the flood zone, the entire parcel. Also on page 21, number 18, parcel number 93-1515, value change from 1,223,300 to 1,112,100, and this was an adjustment made for uniformity for sales. The next one, number 22, parcel 180-25-3, value change from 226,300 to 123,200, and that's value change for uniformity. And as you see, the other properties, mostly fall in the category adjusted for value for property characteristics, uniformity for sales, also applied the 2022 sale price, And there was one, parcel adjustment line item number 21, adjustment made to church. And those are all the changes for the residential appeal.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the residential appeal changes as noted.
Make motions to approve the, residential agreement as noted.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion made.
Okay, next is the residential appeal, no changes. And that goes from page number 2231. And I would like to submit these as a whole on the basis that the values are fair and equitable.
I'll entertain a motion to approve these appeal, no changes as noted.
Make a motion that we approve the, no values.
Second.
A motion second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Next is residential appeal agreement.
Okay. The first one is in regards to, parcel number 22558. And the Board of Assessors, agreed that the value should be $857,000. According to this, appeal, submits to arbitration, and as the board is aware that in order for arbitration to take place, a fee appraisal must be submitted. The fee appraisal came back with a value of $720,000. However, the tax office reached an agreement property owner for a value of $767,700. And so the tax office and the appellant agreed that the value should be $767,600. And the next one, parcel number 1062534 is that, I'm sorry, something small at the bottom side. The Board of Assessors agreed the value was $454,900. This was just a case of the 299C status being removed in error. It was reinstated, so the results was a no change, and 299C was reinstated.
I'll entertain a motion to approve these residential appeal agreement as noted.
Make motion to approve the residential appeal agreements 2023 is noted. Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are you gonna do the residential appeal agreement?
Yes. And finally, page 32. This is the residential viewing slopes. Just starting the first section, there were no not too many changes except for two that stand out. Number parcel number 822-182-47. Started from 234,500 to 175. And this was a property that was an older property that was built in 1963. And also, it was a similar case for parcel number 883-182-31. Value changed from 22,100 to 185. And this is just based on that, based on sales for this particular types of property. The previous value of the properties respectively was $155,700 and $142,300. So basically, they didn't deviate from their original value, and this is based on sales of properties that were built in that time period. The next column, November 1st, 2023, there wasn't that many significant changes to know. Just so you know, the first one, the 22, which is using anything greater than 20% taking the Superior Court will not usually be taken to Superior Court. In this case, will not be given information, given the results and the information review. Moving on to the last one, there were some significant changes
for the November 2nd, 2023. The first two parcels, well, second and third parcel, were reduced based on sales and uniformity. It was a case of the parcel having a significant larger square footage area than the comps. So sales throughout the county were taken into consideration. And because of that, that's why you see a reduction in value from the 413,100 to 350,000, and from 404,700 to 360,000. As you know, we are allowed to, and as well as the appellate, to look at sales throughout the county when there are no suitable comps available. The next one, 15%, 20, that was based on, also based on sales, and also given the fact that there were no changes made to subject property. There were some sales that were included in the comps that had significantly had upgrades made to them, like brand countertops, new appliances, hot water heating, etc., and that was taken into consideration for the reduction of the subject property. And the one for 13.9, that was based on also the subject property being larger than the comps. And the one for 15, one based on rental income, is exactly like I said. The rental income was presented to the Board of Equalization, and they took the income into consideration, therefore reduced it by 15%. And other than that, those are all the changes made in the BOE results for residential.
So you're not recommending for that?
No, sir.
You can vote to approve the BOE results as noticed.
I'll make a motion that we approve the BOE results as noted.
Second.
No, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passed.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. Looking for the commercial fuel volume too. Yeah. You doing it? We're gonna start on page 33. Prior year 299C that could have been applied, so that was granted for that. 15.54 Page 34 is the repeal and adjustment. And the first two, you can see a adjustment for the square footage on the income for that one. It resulted in an increase in value of $1,192,900. So it made that change, should have been appealing further. The second one I made adjustment for parcel 23-151-27, the building being 100% vacant. See the change there. And the next three, number 3, 4, and 5 were change of prior rate. What happened with these, they had prior appeals that we ended up with a certain dollar per square foot on. So I just made that adjustment to these appeals as well, because it was a different year. So that's what we did for those three. Number 6, parcel 1602591, made adjustment for turnover and location. Because this building just has been so much turnover in it. It's a restaurant over on Walmart and that little access road there, and it's just never really taken off or anything. They're constantly moving it out. So
What's not on that restaurant?
it's right now it's a tavern, I think, bar and grill. It was previously theaters, and then after that it was just Mexican restaurant. So it's been like Hollanders. I mean, not Hollanders. But that's what it is currently.
Haven't been in a while.
Yeah, they've been the only one that's been kind of stable, so I'm gonna keep my eye on it and, maybe make a jump if I need to. The number 7, this was actually a vacant, so we changed it from income to cost. You can see the difference there. And that's all I'm changing. Page 35 to 36 are all no changes.
I was making a motion to approve these, no changes in payment commitment. Commercial, appeal, no things change.
A motion that we approve the commercial appeal changes, no changes, as noted.
Motion second, all in favor? Thanks, Joe.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
George.
Yep.
That's a whole nother thing.
Of the Superior Court of Appeal agreement.
I'm sorry. I got it.
Sorry, you don't agree with me, go.
Yeah. This was an agreement, made between the, our property owner and ourselves, that, that was 1,059,100, and mutual agreement was for, 814, which is under 23.14% change.
I entertain a motion to approve this Superior Court appeal agreement, that was it.
That we approve the Superior Court appeal agreements dated 2022 as noted. Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
And we made it.
Back on, yeah.
I think next would be Super Baker on, is that right?
That would be correct. I just want to express my gratitude to this board who has supported me 100% of the times. And we did have our arbitration hearing yesterday in Cobb County. And I know Rita and Martin and Rochelle, sorry, had undertaken to come as the board, and then Rita could not. Then call he wanted in case I needed more support. So I mean that's unheard of. We went and we saw Fulton County, the end of Fulton County's appeal, and they had no board members there. So it's saying a lot to Douglas. Yeah. Their attorney was there, and so was our attorney. So I just want to say thanks to the team. We had a lot of support, and as much as the results wasn't what was anticipated, we started the appeal out because we got a save ratio of 36.11. After the initial appeal, it was changed to 36.33, and yesterday our appeal went to 37.64. So it's a big difference. So I do appreciate that we will be gaining more. It's less of a penalty to us for the utilities, but we need to strive for better. And these are some exhibits. We are now responsible for the payment of the arbitrator, who is James Stokes, as well as 50% of the other arbitrators. So just asking for the board's approval for payment. We did ask for the board approval to go to arbitration. So we're gonna have a little bit, but it was worth it. It's a significant increase and a decrease in the penalty.
And did you learn anything?
Absolutely, yeah, it was a great learning experience. And I must say, Fulton County presented it for us, and they got no change. And we got a significant increase.
What do you think, if you learned from the DOR what more, how to do more of what they want done, then maybe it'll be better.
Well, I must say that we are doing everything that the DOR wants. And DOR has separate guidelines from the Department of Audit and Accounts.
Okay.
So we are 100% dead on with DOR. And we do get looked at every 3 years with our digest review, and so far we have been spot on. It's just that they're two separate guidelines.
Okay.
So we do what DOR asks us. Yes. So we need to kind of straddle the road by doing some of what They want us. The DOAA. Yes. So, apart from that, we are in the middle of the appeal period. The appeals are going good. The Board of Equalization has they have made some adjustments in terms of they are now doing catcall, so they're trying to get 2 more appeals per day, and it seems to be working. The no-show is very high so far, but it doesn't matter to us if it's 50 per day, it's 50. So normally we were down at about 20. So it's a significant increase, even though they reduced the number of days. I think it's only 2 days per day.
2 days a week.
They are only doing 2 days per week. Yeah. But aside from that, it's business as usual for us. It's coming on to the holiday period and looking to celebrate the holidays with the team. Thank you. That's all from me. So far, it's some fitting in, some no time to train, and some questioning.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
That's
make a
it from
motion
me.
to approve these arbitration hearing invoices.
Make a motion that we approve the arbitration invoices as noted.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Yes, the next order of business will be the central district meeting.
That's your phone. Yeah, that's. I can do the 28th. Thank you.
I'm thinking actually this one.
I can't do the 29th. Steve, you can.
About 30th.
I'll do whatever you do. I prefer to take on a Monday.
I can't do it.
What did you say?
I have to proceed to the.
Oh, they are training. Yeah. But we have a team that can do whenever or a team can. We prefer if it's not on a Monday. But
We have a Friday, we have Friday, December 1st.
you're in training.
Yeah.
If it goes, okay, if we stretch it another 2 days? Sure.
Do if there are any direct need. So,
27, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's a Monday, right after the Thanksgiving holiday.
Just
Yeah.
that's not.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not.
About December the 5th. That's a Tuesday.
That work.
I can't.
That works for me. Okay.
Monday's the couple meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's work. You can't do it for a reason. Oh, you can do it. Oh, you can.
December the 5th.
That's work.
That's a Monday.
Yeah, it's just a Monday. It works.
Monday, okay?
Foundation?
December the 5th. December. That's good for me. But all the folks in town, I'll just click on, I would hear
No,
most
no,
of the done.
no.
I should say, any discussion about adjournment? All in favor, say aye.
I
Motion carries.
voted.